Hello, everybody. Just wanted to get back with you. Um, should have gotten through slide 8. And obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, email me, and I'll go over them with you if you need it. Also, remember that Thursday we will have a Zoom meeting, 10 o'clock in the morning. Just want to let you guys know that. Okay, so slide 9, law of superposition. Okay, so this is a phrase that we use to indicate the layers of the Earth's surface. And when I say the layers of Earth's surface, we mean the crust, most likely uh, the continental crust, where we find sedimentary rock is starting to has built up over periods of millions of years and hundreds of thousands of years, whatever. So what they do is they millions of years ago, a layer of rock laid down, okay, and then environmental changes, things evolved. We had animals living, dying, and so they lived on that earth. And then so what happened is that earth changed, more sediment laid down, got compacted, and then another layer of rock laid on top of that. It kept doing this for millions of years, and so now we have this a layer of rock. If you've ever been to like um, uh, different places like the Grand Canyon, where you can see layers of rock being laid down or that have been laid down, those are just millions of years of rock. And the colors are different. They're unique according to the time that the Earth was existing. And so, what the law of superposition means is that the bottom layers almost always are going to be the oldest because they were laid down first. And so then the next layer lays down on top of it. It's a little bit younger, and it keeps going until you get to the very top. And when you're at the very top, that is the youngest rock. Okay. And so what I'll do is I'll go through that through this slideshow. And so that's slide number 9. Okay. Now, what we can do is we can talk about the relative age of rock. Okay. The relative age of rock is basically the rock's age compared to other rocks that are surrounding it or that are much younger or much older. We can't give a definitive answer to the absolute age. So we have two different classifications. We have relative age, which paleontologists use the most, and then we have absolute age. Okay, paleontologists use relative age because we can compare rock ages compared to other rocks. That's really hard for us to date the exact age of a rock, okay, because it happened a long time ago. Okay, now on that slide you can see there's a indication of a layer of rocks, and as we go through the slideshow, you'll see that those two drawings once again. Okay, so the next slide is slide 11. Okay, relative age versus rock, relative age of rocks versus absolute age of rock. Okay, I already said it. Relative age is the rock's actual um, age compared to other ages of rock. The absolute age is the how many years it's gone by since it has been in existence. It's still there, but it was formed how many ever millions of years ago. Okay, so you can see that I have an arrow at the top of that drawing, and it says youngest rock at the top, and then at the bottom it says oldest rock. Okay, so that is the law of superposition. Okay, the superposition meaning that the position that the rock layer is according to the other rocks. Slide 12. Okay. Slide 12 is going to give you an idea of the index fossil is a fossil found in a layer of rock that is widely distributed in the world and has lived for only a short period of time. This helps determine the relative age of rock. Okay, so we're going to talk about index fossils. Okay, so I think you lost me there, but that's all right. Index fossil, meaning that we find a fossil in a layer of rock that is not found um, very long. Okay, it's only for a short period of time. Okay, now that's one indicator of an index fossil. The other indicator is that it is found throughout the world in many, many places. Okay, so it has to have two categories to be considered an index fossil. Okay, number one is it has to be short-lived. Okay, and then number two.
Have is plural and has a singular in the present.
Sorry about that. My phone went off. Um, Index fossil has to have a um, is a um, is a relatively short-lived fossil, and it's lived many, many places throughout the world. Okay, so I have a quick little activity for you to do to answer that question. Okay, so the next slide, slide 13, you're going to see a diagram. Basically, it looks like three different places in the world. There are six different fossils, and you're going to have to tell me which one of those fossils is the index fossil. Okay, from my description, from the description on 12, and then also the description on 14, on slide 14. Okay, you're going to answer that question in a Google document. Okay, that is the final question. Okay, actually, you have one more question. Okay, so that's question number two. Question number one is on slide, I think it's two. Basically, it's just your notes. Is slide one, and then slide two, or question two, is your is the one that we just talked about. Okay, index fossils. Okay, um, relative age versus absolute age. Sometimes it could be a little confusing. Okay, so we're going to take into an example. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to call, text, email a friend, and get their age. Okay, and then you're going to tell me if your age would indicate that you are younger, meaning that you would either be on the lower layer of rock, or if they are older, they would be on the lower layer of the rock. Okay. You are then going to ask them for their birth date, and then you guys are going to compare dates, birth, and then you're going to be able to tell me your absolute birth dates. Okay. This is also going to tell me that you understand who is younger, in the fact that it is an absolute, meaning that we know the date that you were born. Okay. Um, so um, you guys can do that. Brian and Anthony, don't, you guys can call somebody else up. Okay. Go ahead and do that. Hope you've enjoyed these two lessons. I will talk to you guys on Thursday at 10 o'clock. Hope you have a good evening, and we'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.